duty or whatever it is.
So we are already patriots. Yes. However, we understand there are a number of challenges, and in this particular case, according to the letter that was released by the executive, they are looking at the pledge the president had made to give nurses and midwives allowances for lunch, and that is becoming the issue that is taking these people on strike, because you understand the nurses spend a lot of time on the ward. For example, I'll give you an example of a midwife. A midwife can't leave the ward for lunch. Most of the people who are working in public offices, they have an hour for lunch, but a mother is pushing, you can't go out because you want to eat. So they think they should be facilitated lunch in the hospitals, but many hospitals don't facilitate that lunch. That's why we say, let's have this allowance. So that
and there are places you can't even eat from.
Yes,
exactly. In the theater, you can't say it's
so
lunchtime. In the theater, serve me food and I eat because I'm supposed to
so
eat.
it's a reasonable thing. It's not. I don't want the public to assume that we are not patriotic. The nurses and midwives are patriotic enough.
True.
They dedicate their time and lives to spend with you, to spend time on the wards to save lives. So coming out to cry for what they need shouldn't brand them as unpatriotic people. I think we are patriotic enough.
Okay. Yes, I know you are. Let's talk about the Nurses Week celebrations. I'll start with you, Sister Odeke. You'll talk about that because you also have a campaign here called the Nursing Now, what that means, and of course the week itself and the celebrations ahead of us.
Yeah, thank you. The celebration of the International Nurses Day is supposed to be 12th May, and this is celebrated world over. However, Uganda this time will celebrate, we the nurses of Uganda will celebrate ours on 12th June because a month later because 12th May we will be having the swearing in of His Excellency the President of Uganda. So we don't want to mix issues. And
it's also presumed that it might be Eid Day.
Yes.
Or that same day it might also be Eid Day. So
yeah. So we will not celebrate ours on 12th, but we have pushed ours
12th June.
12th June and it will be in Kamuli. That's in Busoga.
Did you also calculate the days that you will not be affected by either State of the Nation address or the budget speech day itself? Because that's the same time that we also have those events. You wouldn't want to be left out on either budget speech day or State of the... I don't know. You talked about 12, so you will go back and look into it.
Definitely.
There's still time to
Definitely, we shall look into that, and if we find it falls on the same day, then we shall again have to adjust.
Because those first 2 weeks of June have very important issues. We have the budget speech, and of course the State of the Nation that comes much earlier. So it still comes around the same time. You just need to get into that. But you're telling us.
Yeah. Now, coming to what you're saying, the campaign of Nursing Now. Nursing Now is a global campaign. We should have run for 3 years, that's 2018 to 2020. But then when COVID came in, definitely we could not conclude the Nursing Now campaign in May 2020. That very celebration conclusion would have also been the year of the nurse and the midwife. And then it would have been also when we would have celebrated the 200 years of Florence Nightingale, her birthday. Because this International Nurses Day celebration is all under the birth of Florence Nightingale, the founder of nursing. So we celebrate that yearly, and Nursing Now was going to conclude, and we are going to celebrate at least the 200th year of Florence Nightingale if she was alive. And then it would have been also a year really to appreciate nurses and midwives, say this is really your year. But COVID came in, so it was extended. And now Nursing Now was extended to be concluded this year, this month, on 24th May. And it's a campaign that's really to raise the profile of nurses and midwives and to build their status. Just as we are all here, of course, everybody is worried of the nurses going on strike, because even as you had your colleague here expressing, do you want people to die? Definitely, when a nurse or nurses or midwives sit down, many patients will have problems because the nursing care will not be provided. But much as nurses, globally we say 90% of health workforce is by nurses and midwives. And in Uganda we are saying 73%. We recognize it, we see it, but then now when it comes to really appreciating and showing the value that comes out of it, we don't see it coming out. Nurses are devalued, nurses are demoralized, nurses are demotivated, nurses are abused even by the communities that they offer services to. So this campaign, and it's not only Uganda, because the people who really collaborated in coming up with the campaign, so that it is world over. So the campaign is world over. And it is really to raise now the profile. And it is also to empower the nurses. When it comes to even maybe policy, the development, you find that nurses are not really on that round table to develop policies of what they are doing. But the policies are developed for them, which they are supposed to implement. And it becomes very difficult to implement what you have not been involved, and you really see that it's realistic, it will achieve the results. So the campaign is to empower them. The campaign is to build the status. They are very excellent nurses. Just as you are saying, I didn't know there are PhD nurses. There are PhD nurses.
I didn't know.
There are many master's nurses, master's holder nurses. And then they are quiet there. They are degree holders. They are diploma holders. And even now, mostly those ones we see on putting on the certificate uniform, the pink one, majority of them have diplomas, but they have not been appointed to that. So we really need to encourage, build this out, and bring it to a level whereby they are confident and they are able to implement what they know, what they have in its fullness.
Well, that's very important. Let me come to you, Jennifer, here. I can see the theme of this year's Nurses Day is Nurses, a voice to lead, a vision for future healthcare. What is that?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Jagenda, for the opportunity. The theme, Nurses, a voice to lead. What is to lead? When you look at the environment or healthcare in itself and the world, there are changes. The world is moving at a particular speed, fast speed I can say. And when you look at healthcare and all what is happening, the change is affecting us as well. And nurses make up the biggest healthcare workforce. So if they are the biggest healthcare workforce, they are taking the forefront, they are the frontliners. Even in taking care, we are the frontliners. So we are the leaders of healthcare. So this voice to lead as our vision is helping us nurses look into the future. How are we prepared for the future? How are we going to innovate, put in innovations? How are we going to, how are the researchers going to help us in transforming healthcare in Uganda? So the vision itself is putting the nurse in a position where they are able to look into the future, plan for the future, and then be able to support others in healthcare, because we are the centerpiece of healthcare, to move with us as we improve or we transform healthcare in Uganda.
That's very important. Now we talk about the Nurses Week, which is coming next week on Wednesday, which is supposed to be on the 12th.
Nurses Week?
The Nurses Day. But before the Nurses Day celebrations, then you have what you call the Nurses Week. And what significance is now the Nurses Week to the viewers, to nurses themselves, to the public, to the country at large?
Yeah, the Nurses Week actually is starting today. And with the many things that we do as nurses and the many things that we have to celebrate ourselves, our achievements in offering this noble service, is that we cannot compile all that into one day. The day is coming as an epitome. So we have a number of celebrations that we can go through, that we prepare ourselves into, and it takes us a whole week. So the significance of the Nurses Week is that we have an opportunity to showcase what we do. Let the people know what exactly we do. Yes.
Odeke talked about the statistics here and said globally 90% of the health of the health sector fraternity is comprised of nurses. In Uganda, we talk about 73%. Now, that's a very big statistic for people to know that when you go to hospital and find 100 health workers, then 73 of those are actually nurses and midwives, which I think is a very big number and a very big workforce. But I just want to hear from you still, Jennifer, how nurses have impacted the health sector in this country, because when Ruben says, why aren't you even working? And you know, you nurses, maybe if we had told Ruben that these are doctors, specialists, and maybe would actually respect them in a way. But when we talk about nurses, where, like you said, even in the community, people demean us, people do all these things. How impactful have you been to the health sector itself?
Now, like I said, the nurses are in the middle, and we are the link to every health professional. True when you said that when you enter a hospital, out of 100, 73 are nurses. The interaction between a client or a patient with the nurse, there are high interactions between a patient and a nurse. When you go out into the peripheries, community, the villages, health center 2, health center 3, most of those are filled with nurses. And you can find that patients in the community may take long to meet doctors or to meet physicians or surgeons or what. They will come into contact with nurses. So what do we do? What is our role as nurses? We advocate for these patients. We take care of them, the sick, because by the nature of our nursing profession, we are there to promote health, and that is health education. We educate you such that you can be able to make your informed decisions about your health. So that is my role. I need to assess and see if there are any risks that I need to communicate to you, such that you can be able to take a decision on your health. That is my role as a nurse. Okay. Then I also look at prevention of illness. If I'm preventing illness, then I have a lot to do. It also comes back to education. Then caring for the sick, which take care of all categories of patients. Every patient thinks of a nurse before you even think of a doctor. We are at the forefront. So if you're debilitated in any way, I am the one present to counsel you, to give you the medication, to remind you of the medication, to take care of your cleanliness and so on. Everything is done by the nurse. When you have healed from your illness, it is a bit hard to think about the nurse. You think about the doctor who prescribed the medication. Yeah? The doctor came once, saw you, prescribed the medication, and then me, I'm following you up, giving you the medication, managing the effects of the medication, the effects of the disease on you. But at the end of it all, it is hard to remember that the nurse was in this game. Okay. So our impact on your health is great, but it's hard to remember. Yes. Hard to remember. Yes.
Very, very important. I think that's why it needs to be celebrated. Yeah. Martin Lubega, let me come to you here. We celebrated the Midwives Day yesterday. And when we're talking about nurses, we tag them together with midwives, and we call it the nurses and midwifery, nurses and midwives, nurse and midwifery, anything that we talk about that. And so we had one day yesterday, we have another day next week. And the issues would be, why aren't these days together to start with? What was the day that we had yesterday? And where was your participation now as the nurses into that particular one? You've all introduced yourselves as nurses. Is there another breed, another category of people who are actually midwives, but you do the same thing or you work together?
Thank you so much. For starters, nursing and midwifery are like twins. When you are twins, you are not the same people, but you probably look alike. Yeah? So nursing and midwifery often work together. However, midwifery, all midwives, are so much focused at the mother, the child, pregnancy, delivering the baby, and the life of the baby thereafter.
So that's how I'm trained at college?
Yes.
I am trained as a midwife?
Yes.
To do that, to handle that?
Help the mother through pregnancy, preparing for pregnancy, through pregnancy, delivering. Thereafter, you go to the baby. That's a midwife. Now, a nurse may cover
what you just explained.
The men, the mother, the children, a wider picture. However, we work together. Actually, even in training, I can work as
So midwives are specially trained to handle the female, especially birth-giving mothers.
They also have this other knowledge, but their specialty is there. So in training, for example, me personally, I can serve as a midwife, I can serve as a nurse.
As a nurse.
And many midwives out there, many nurses out there can do both. However, we are at one point tasked to choose where you must be. So yesterday we had the Midwives Day, and it was on the theme, follow the data, invest in midwives. So as my colleagues have earlier said, why are we requesting stakeholders to follow the data? We are in a country like Uganda where we have 73% of the healthcare workforce are nurses and midwives. But when it comes to decision-making tables,
you're not part of that. The
nurses are kicked the other way. Yeah, they are not anywhere.
There's a problem in that.
Many people think maybe people are deluded into thinking that nurses are certificate holders. You've just told me you didn't know.
Until I met Dr. Nanyonga.
Yes.
I met Dr. Nanyonga of IHK. She told me she has a PhD, and I was surprised that people even get PhDs in nursing. I never thought about that.
And if you read about her story, it's a very interesting one. She began with, I think, a certificate.
Yes, she came growing through the ranks.
So that is just one person out of the very many nurses in this country and midwives in this country who have PhDs. Just to go to Makerere University Department of Nursing, find out how many people have PhDs. Go to Mbarara University.
She talked about master's degrees, quite a number of them.
Every university here in Uganda has nurses and midwives with PhDs. But the community is, and I think the media has also helped, because if the media doesn't know that they are nurses with PhDs, then the community will not know that they are nurses with PhD. That's why I think nurses and midwives, we need to engage more the media so that they understand that better. They should understand that a nurse can be a man. They should understand that a nurse can actually have a PhD. Actually, we have very many. So the statistics are giving us that we have 73% of the healthcare workforce are nurses and midwives. That is on an average. When you enter any hospital, out of 10 health workers that you're going to see, 7 of them,
or even 7.5.
It can't be. So, but at least 7 of them are either a nurse or midwife. That means all the achievements that we are celebrating as the health sector, the nurses have a great contribution to it. Because just imagine, you have 73% of the workforce. Then when it comes to the decision making, when it comes to the prioritization, then you are prioritizing people who don't even make 30%. You get? So that's where the theme comes from. Follow the data, invest in nurses, in midwives. So midwives, as I said, they play a great role in reduction of maternal mortality and morbidity, and also neonatal and child. They contribute a lot to neonatal and child health. So we are in a country where we are having over 300 mothers dying out of every 100,000 births that we have in a country. So we believe, and data shows, research has showed that if you empower the midwives, invest in the midwives, you're going to have a great reduction in these numbers. So as a country, what do we want? Do we want to to invest in our midwives so that they can help us reduce these numbers. And I think that's the priority of any person, a politician, anyone. That would be the priority.
Okay.
So this theme was celebrated internationally. You're saying follow the data. If we are the majority in the system, bring us on the decision-making tables. Why are you making policies and you want us to implement the policies for you? Let us go on, bring us on table, let us discuss, let us be part of the policy making so that we can be in position to go and implement what we've been part of. If we are saying that a midwife is going to stay on ward, actually, leave alone here, people are in Kampala where midwives are working 8 hours. Go to up country, remote areas. We are having midwives working the whole day, 12-hour shifts. Some even 24-hour shifts. They're on health center 4s, the health center 3s, health center 2s. They are supposed to do deliveries. She leaves, a mother comes in.
Then
she can't refuse to come out. She will come. Some people are working on torches. These things are on record. So let's follow that data. Let's invest in midwives. Which investment are we looking at? Invest in education. We are having very many midwives and who want to go back to school. They have been in public service for long. Opportunities come from ministry, opportunities come from wherever they are picking on other people. Midwives are not minded about. We look at the public.
Does your union address all these things apart from allowances and all the things? Because these are very pertinent issues that you talk about. Do you raise them in your union? Because I am thinking you have a union which I think participates in even electing and choosing your members of parliament to represent you. You just brought 5 this time round, and I do not know whether actually these carry you with them when they get to parliament. But because I'm looking at you, follow the data, and we look at the data there. Yes, and we talk about investing in nurses and midwives. And nobody seems to be heeding to that particular maybe request or so. Are you part of that? And do you use your union to voice out these issues because they're very pertinent?
I strongly believe the union does its work, but we all have to put a brick to it. You get? The union does its work, but even us who are not the spokespersons, the executive on the union, we have to contribute something to the voice. So we are saying, you know, when many midwives out there find a lot of hard time to get education leaves in the public service. Yet when other people want to go, someone works for 2 years, requests for an education leave, they go. But a midwife works for even more than 10 years. It's not allowed. Someone goes to study and that one becomes a disciplinary case. Those are the things in our hospitals out there. And these are the things you're saying they should stop. We need to invest in the salaries of our midwives. Recently there were promotions in the salaries of our colleagues, the doctors. The nurses were left outside. You get? We need to invest in the recruitment of the midwives. We are saying someone joined the system with a certificate in nursing.
Certificate level, so
he has worked for 10 years. Probably has done her part. She has gone back to school to attain a diploma. But in the system, she's being considered as someone with a what?
Because she entered with a certificate.
With a certificate.
She's upgraded,
yes.
But she's still left there.
We have very many people who entered with certificate, and they have grown to the level of masters, and they are not recognized in the system. So those are the things we are saying, government, look here. Other stakeholders, look here. Invest in recruitment of...
Who is not doing their part from everything that you're saying? Because lately we had actually become jealous of you. Whenever the president could come on TV to say anything, I would speak, address the nation, then he talks about his scientists. We became rumor mongers, we became all these things and say now. We the artists now, we even feeling sorry and bad that we decided to go this way. Now it is the scientists' time to shine. And you know, when the president praises all of you, we think it's all... merrymaking.
You know, at times, actually, I think at one point someone said nurses are not scientists. There's something that came, but nurses are scientists. But I don't know whether the president has not been well briefed. Maybe we need someone in parliament to go and
talk to the president.
To talk to maybe from wherever he's
about you being scientists.
Yes, because
maybe you left out. But are you scientists anyway? Are you scientists?
I believe that is you can.
Because
Anyway.
I am not, so I will not be able to know. But anyway,
nurses and
that's just a
midwives,
passing joke.
if we are looking for scientists, you can't leave them. And these are scientists that are very close to us in the community.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. I went to, each one of us has done the physiology, they have done biology, they have done the anatomy, they've done the chemistry. You go to the university, you do pharmacology, you do the medicine, you get? So I can't say we are not, we are scientists. So we need to be looked at when we are talking about salary increments and everything.
That's very important. A question to all of you. We've battled the pandemic of COVID-19 from when it started, when it came into this country. We've lived with it for over a year now. Now there's a variant coming on. You, the scientists, now again telling us about how deadly this actually is. I want you to highlight to me what your contribution has actually been during the time of the pandemic in the fight against COVID-19. And I will allow you to give ratings yourselves at a scale of 10. How do you think your contribution has actually been to helping Ugandans save lives during the pandemic of COVID-19? Odeka, I'll start with you, then come to Nambaliro for the same question.
If you are talking of a scale, I would say it is even 10 out of 10.
That's what you would say?
That's what I would say. Because nurses, right from day go, they're the ones who came in. They sent the first case that was found and was put in Entebbe. That was really, nurses were the ones who took full care. Nurses were the ones whom they started training as to how to manage this new disease. And nurses, when the disease kept on spreading and many numbers came up, many centers were opened, the nurses were the ones who were on the forefront. So as they were on the forefront, of course, this is a disease that was worrying the whole nation and worrying them, because nurses are also humans. They have flesh and blood. They know anything, any mistake can cause death. And then behind them, they had families. So it was affecting them in all areas. Now, they were there, what we call personal protective equipment. Or
PPEs.
As the word was going, PPEs, was inadequate, totally inadequate. And there was that worry. So nurses themselves looked at it and said, what do we do? They came up with a task force team, the nurse leaders. And this task force team, they said, no, we have really to come up with something to protect our very own, because they are now the ones on the front line. So this group went ahead, they contributed money, approached the PS, and the PS said, that's a very good idea. If you already have your money, that's good. Buy the PPEs, and I would want you to deliver to your chosen health facilities. By then, the high numbers were in Mulago and in Entebbe. So that's exactly what this group did, bought the PPEs, and we delivered to our group in Entebbe and to our group in Mulago. And of course, now, as the thing kept on, and it was the concern of everybody, the PPEs started coming in, and they started giving to these health facilities. But the concern was there. And we were there. Nurses, of course, got infected. And
I'm sure you lost some of
we lost some of our nurses. And then the majority who got infected were those who were in these other wards. Because now these ones who are in the caring COVID wards were taking care and putting on that PPE, and they knew what to do. Now the others, the patients come, we are talking, no mask and all that. You know what was happening in the beginning.
Asymptomatic cases could come in and all things,
so they got infected, but we thank God, many of them came out fit. So if we were to say really what would be really the scale, that's the scale I would give to our nurses and our midwives.
Thank you so much. My scale would be at 8. Why?
You'd leave something for us.
I'm giving room for the people we work with. We don't work alone in the health facility. We have the doctors and all the other professionals. So the 8.
The 2 is for the others.
The 2 are for the others. Being a frontliner, when you're a frontliner, the moment there is an attack, whether you like it or not, you must move forward. So the nurse, being a frontliner, is always ready, whether it is a pandemic, whether the disease is scary, in which mode, as a nurse you're there, because that is what you're committed to do. I can say that God has given us his favor as nurses. And this work that we do, truly it is an extension of God's hand. And as we do the service, we don't go there by ourselves. And what has empowered nurses so much to continue with this work is that self-sacrifice. When internally you believe that whatever I'm doing, I have been called to do this work. And like it or not, I have to support. Then you build that degree of confidence.
Sure.
And then when you also put yourself in the picture of the patient, someone has succumbed to the disease. What are the things around the disease?
Sure.
Everyone was scared, COVID-19. But you're scared from TV, you're watching cases, but look at that person who has succumbed to the disease. What is that person going through? That feeling and putting yourself in the shoes of that person is what gives the nurse the energy to embrace whatever comes, whether it is scary or not.
Okay.
So the nurses were ready to give themselves, and that is a great contribution. Giving myself to service, I think there is no other contribution to that.
Well, I want to thank you. Our time is running out, and we have about another 3, 4, 5 minutes to end the show here. But I know you've done this, and this has not come without any challenges.
Yes.
I am very sure about that. It's been a long journey, and of course with the nurses, you've been at the forefront. You've been there when virtually nobody is actually there. But the challenges that you've gone through, and what is your clarion call to the public as we go through this week of celebrations, and as we also wait to celebrate the International Day of the Nurses? What's your call to the public? What is your appeal to the public? What's your clarion call to the nation of Uganda? The challenges and what you're asking the public to come into salvage help or do so. I'll start with you, and I'll end with Mr. Rubega.
Yes, of course, challenges have been many, starting with the nature of the disease. Stigma among the fellow nurses, and then also the public. Then you also have psychological trauma, especially people who have been working or who are working on the COVID wings. I got a chance to talk to one of my colleagues who is a nurse, and he was going through that kind of trauma, that from work, whenever he went home, everyone at home just let him be in a room.
He was isolated.
He was so isolated.
He became an outcast at home.
Yes, it hurt him so much. And he was saying, I think I should quit. I should quit. Why should I be treated in this manner? My family, how can my family treat me in this manner? So I told him, now if you quit taking care of this patient, who is going to take care? And that is how he got energy to continue. Because if you're called to service, then you will be able to continue. Now, what am I appealing to the public? I tell the public that let's value the nurses. Let us treat them as humans, because it hurts us. When we came in, the previous presenter was talking about nurses saving lives, and what is that money for? But I mean nurses living in an environment where we go to the same market, we suffer the same financial challenges. We also have family, we have children to take care of. We also want our children to go in the good schools where other people take their children. So looking at money, much as I have to save life, but I also have to live. If I am not healthy, then I cannot help you be healthy if I'm not healthy.
You're good.
So the public should consider nurses as humans, and that they have the same needs like they do have. But we already have the love to do our job.
In 1 minute, Sister Odeke.
Yes, for me what I can say is COVID-19 is a new disease, and it still remains a new disease, and it has no choice. It can affect the health workers, it can affect the non-health workers. Where we are, the challenge that we are faced with, that we already see in our health facilities, will even be compounded if we reach that stage where India is in. We don't have enough equipment. We have inadequate staffing of health workers. So oxygen is not enough. So if we reach that stage whereby people will be in every home, in every community, and the beds are not there for everybody, we shall really have very bad fatal cases happening. So the community, what I can tell the community is, let's take care.
Okay.
The life is in our hands.
Okay.
We have to follow the SOPs. There's resurgence this time, that one which is even affecting children. So it is no longer saying it is only for the elderly,
For
those
the old
who have
people.
risk. It is everybody, even children. So let's just take care and follow the SOPs as you have been told. The life is in everybody's hands.
Okay.
That's what I can.
Mr. Lubega, finally, in less than 1 minute.
Thank you so much. What would be my word to the public? For starters, I want to inform the public and Mr. Jagenda that nurses are not only in the hospital. Nurses are in research, nurses are in labs, depending on the specialty someone does, has chosen to take in life. Therefore, our nurses have greatly contributed to the fight against COVID-19 by being on ward with the patients, by producing research that has informed practice. Therefore, I want to challenge the public. When you see a nurse around, at least say thank you. You may not give them money, but that word means a lot to them. Those people who are struggling, sacrificing, being with their families to be with you on wards. So a thank you is a very big thing that you can do. And I want to also continue appreciating the nurses and midwives. And of course, our fellow colleagues, the team members, the doctors, the other people, the gatekeepers, the cleaners in our units. We continue to appreciate them because, as we said, we don't do this alone. We do it as a team, but we need to appreciate and bring out the voice of the nurse, the voice of the midwife that has not been heard for quite a long period of time. Yes.
Thank you so much. Finally, you wrote a book. Where do they find it? And
so this is my Pregnancy Handbook. It's a health education tool that I wrote to help mothers by delivering authentic health information in regards to pregnancy. So it has been tested at Ministry of Health. It has been tested by the midwives, and it's already in circulation. The public is using this handbook.
Very good.
In case you want it, you can find it at Uganda Bookshop, or you can get it from our agents. Yeah, I don't know if you can allow me to read that.
Please say them.
Yeah, so if you want to get a copy from, at least you can get it from 0750 449598. So that is my personal number. I can help you link up to any agent. So it is out there. We are trying to see, currently it's in English, but we are trying to find partners to put it in local languages so that instead of going to Google to get information that is not authentic, you can get this handbook, sit by your bed. Yeah.
Thank you
basically
very much.
Coming to solve
Thank you very much.
Issues,
in just 10 seconds, do you want to say something?
What we are saying, as we have specialized doctors, we also really are advocating to have specialized nurses. Mulago, super specialized hospital. So who are the super specialized nurses who are going to work there? We need nurses who have done special courses to work there. And then now on nursing now, what I can say, as we conclude nursing now this year, this will be on 24th, we are transforming to nursing now country groups. So it will still continue, and it's continuing to raise the voice. You talked of, are we all in the union? Yeah, union does the welfare of nurses and midwives. But nursing now is really to help raise the voice. As you give us chance, we come here. So those who have had the chance to listen to us this morning have picked something.
Very important.
So if we keep on engaging and we work with the media and people come to know what really nurses are, I believe we are going to have better services, because quality health will start with skilled health workers.
Thank you very much.
All those reductions that you see in all statistics of health, there's a nurse, there's a midwife behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nas Nambalidwa. Thank you so much, Nas Odeke, and thank you so much, Nas Rubega, for allowing to join us. I'm here today on Good Morning Uganda Extra. Now we'll extend our program very shortly, and after the nurses leave the studios, I will have an extension of just another about maybe 10 or 15 minutes with another guest in studios for this day's edition, as we also prepare to again go to Parliament as they conclude business for this particular session and this particular Chisanja as it is. I thank you so much, and we'll return shortly with another guest in studios. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Nyagenda.
Thank you very much. Kale,
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra. Sponsored by
Cleveland Hill Day and Boarding Primary School. The Lord is my shepherd.
The Presidential Initiative on Wealth and Job Creation, EMYOGA, was launched by the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in August 2019. The Microfinance Support Center, together with other stakeholders, mobilized, sensitized, formed and registered over 200,000 parish-based savings associations under 6,344 EMYOGA SACCOs countrywide, reaching 4,114,200 individual beneficiaries. To date, 1,439,970 leaders of the parish-based associations have been trained in business skills, group management, mindset change, and patriotism, while 42,707 EMYOGA SACCO leaders have been trained in effective management of the SACCOs. The Microfinance Support Center has disbursed over 200 billion Uganda shillings to 6,344 constituency-based EMYOGA SACCOs countrywide. EMYOGA, reaching out to the most in need of financial services.
Echa COVID-19 chijja kugwa. If we get vaccinated now, observe social distancing, wear masks properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly. Together we can defeat this enemy.
What does it mean to be closer together? It's taking the last bus home for a surprise visit. Closer together is strangers finding a connection. It's bringing home something much more than a box. It's the warmth of home, or the beginning of something new. There's magic in sharing the things that we learn, because it's those things that bring us close together.
Has anyone seen Bob?
Over here!
How did you get in there?
With my Airtel Money MasterCard.
But you don't even have a bank account.
Well, it's not a card. It's virtual, so no plastic, and it's safer.
But what are you doing there?
I want to buy Nancy a birthday gift, book my flight tickets, renew my Big Click subscription, and order a shipment.
The Airtel Money MasterCard. It's not a card, but works just like one. Get one on the Airtel Money menu on your phone.
Introducing Cleveland Hill Day and Boarding Primary School, located in Chebando, Chisalo-Salo, along Bukoto Roundabout, 2 kilometers from Kalere at the Northern Bypass, on your way to Chisasi. This is a world-class standard school with the most qualified teachers that will turn your child into a world changer. We have a fully stocked library, a balanced diet for the children, a calm environment suitable for learning, and pocket-friendly school fees. Registration for P1 2021-26 is ongoing and second term is starting on 6th April 2021. Call us on 0774-950-277 or 0705-861-262 for more information. Cleveland Hill Day and Boarding Primary School. The Lord is my shepherd.
Echa COVID-19 chijja kugwa. If we get vaccinated now, observe social distancing, wear masks properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly. Together we can defeat this enemy.
Kapo, you seem to be in a hurry. Where are you going to?
I'm gonna pay URA visit.
But you can access URA online. Why pay visit?
To know more about the Kakasa Business Solutions, namely digital tracking solution, the voluntary disclosure program and electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing solution, which have turned my business around. You know I need to be on top of my game to protect my empire. If you know, you know.
I too need to know what Kapo knows.
Kakasa, be sure you are in charge of your business. Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Pick of the day on UBC, brought to you by was brought to you by.
We've cut and reduced our MTN Momo withdrawal rates. Now you can withdraw mobile money at the lowest rates. You also get MTN Senchu points when you deposit, send, and withdraw MTN mobile money. Visit our Momo agents countrywide and withdraw mobile money at our reduced rates from 1st May 2021. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Sponsored by Cleveland Hill Day and Boarding Primary School. The Lord is my shepherd.
Well, thank you so much, and we continue with Good Morning Uganda Extra, just like I promised you. Now, the nurses have left the studios, and joining me in studios is Mr. Njagala Alan, and he's the Territorial Business Manager of Airtel Kampala. Here with us to talk about something very new and special that Airtel is sharing with the public. You're very welcome, Mr. Njagala.
Very good morning to all you viewers of UBC.
Well, thank you so much for having you here. And of course, here is where we are, and we talk about the SSO and AM activation, a new product, or, well, I don't know whether it's a new product or something, given to us by Airtel,
Sure.
Let's talk about that and what it is for people to understand.
A very good morning to you once again. My name is Njagala Alan, the Territory Business Manager for Airtel in Kampala, and we're here to give business to the public. As Airtel Uganda, our commitment is to enhance and better the lives of our customers, and we have business opportunities after this pandemic that has hit us so hard, and as Airtel Uganda, we've decided to have two sectors or two streams of business opportunities to the public there, and that's the reason why I'm here this morning.
Okay.
And basically the two streams, we are expanding our agent base. Agent base are the agents where you go and make a withdrawal or a deposit, or you pay fees, or you
mobile
pay
money, Airtel money. So as Airtel Uganda, we've decided to expand our agent base. However, we need to educate the public of what is it needed for them, for them to be able to be a part of the agent base. And as Airtel Uganda, we've decided to give this business opportunity to the public for free. Okay.
So you will not need any money for you to become an agent for Airtel Uganda as of now. what you need to know is that there are some basic requirements that you will be needed, that the company and the government of Uganda needs you to have for Airtel to be able to enroll you on the Airtel Money platform as an agent.
So we now talk about those who qualify.
Yes.
Or how they should even qualify.
Or how you qualify, or what do you need to have to become an agent for Airtel Uganda. For starters, you must have a business, a registered business with the Uganda Registration Service Bureau. This therefore means that you present your national ID to Uganda Registration Service Bureau and you ask for a business name or a company. If you already have a company, then you're good to go. If you do not have anything, then you'll present your national ID to Uganda Registration Service Bureau. In any of your localities, you do not need to come to Kampala. In any of your localities or any of the division offices, these offices do exist. So you present your national ID and you request for a business name. When you're done with registering a business name, make sure it is certified, because at Airtel we do not allow or will not allow something not certified, by the government. You then need to get a trading license, giving you authorization to trade in that area. Then you must be compliant with the Uganda Revenue Authority, meaning you will need to get a TIN number. When all this is done and you have a place X where you're going to work from, you'll need to get an LC letter introducing you that we know Alan, he's a citizen or a resident of this place. So that when you get an introductory letter, we know, or the people where you're going to operate from really know that they know who you are. We don't want to have pocket retailers existing. So when this is done, you get 3 passport photos. You will visit any of the locations or any of the big stores that are located in the different localities in your zone or in your trading center. Present those documents. We'll give you forms to fill in. When these forms are filled in, they will be presented to Airtel within 5 working days. From the time you submit them, these documents will go to Airtel. We'll scan them, view them, double check and see that these documents you've given to us are authentic. They're known by the government of Uganda. You're a citizen and you're compliant. If you're not a citizen, assuming I'm a Chinese or a foreigner, I'll present my national ID, a passport with a permit, with a work permit,
valid work permit,
and then we'll be able to process those documents. You will give us 5 days for an agent for us to go through those paperwork, and we'll be able to get back to you within 5 working days to say that the documents that you submitted to us have been able to pass or something is pending, so that we can be able to give you this line. Meaning within a space of 5 days from the time of submission, you should be able to start transacting as an Airtel Money agent. Remember, this is free of charge, because why I'm emphasizing this, we've been having people extorting money from the public. Telling them how hard it is, or that these documents are hard to get. So it is free of charge. You present those documents, then we'll be able to get back to you within 5 working days. When we get back to you as Airtel, we'll be able to train you. We'll be able to brand your outlet for people to see that this outlet...
You do the branding?
Yes, we'll do
as Airtel.
We'll do the branding as Airtel at a no cost. So we'll be able to train you, brand you, and also take you through the profit story. Because at the end of the day, when we say business opportunity, it therefore means that there should be something in return for you to earn at the end of the day. So we'll be able to take you through the earning brackets, how you're able to make more money from what you're currently able to earn. So when this is done, you will be able to give a testimony that probably after the pandemic, Airtel Uganda was able to make you move to the next journey of increasing your profits in your business.
Don't I have to have some money, some float on my account as a premium of sorts before I get into business, or what happens? Because I may go through all the registration rigors and manage them. I could even have a company now that I now need to activate and get into Airtel as one of your agents. Don't I need some float as premium on my account before I am given permission by you?
By the time you ask for a business, you should have some money, but this money depends on location. Let me give you an example. If I'm going to work at probably Meat Packers in Kampala, the turnover of money that I will need might be 5 million shillings. As Airtel, we're saying 1 million shilling is an entry level.
Okay.
But depending...
So it's 1 million shillings, which is entry level.
Entry level.
Very good.
But depending on the location where you are, you should be able to have more money. The more money you have, depending on the location, the more you're good to go. If the area where you work from may not need a lot of money, may need 1 million shillings, then it means 1 million shillings may be good for you to start the business. But as long as you have the 1 million shillings, you are good to go.
Okay.
But this depends on the location. People from upcountry would charge 500,000, meaning if you are in a place that is quite remote, but there's no service and you need to bring the service closer to the people, then we give you 500,000. So this depends on the location. As long as you have about 500,000 shillings, you should be good to go. What we encourage our agents we've enrolled is that every time we pay you commission, it should be a reinvestment into the business for you to be able to grow the capital base for that business, so that you can be able to realize more commissions and grow that business in the location where you are. Yes.
Well, that's very important. So the 1 million shillings is not me giving to Airtel. I'm not paying Airtel money, but it's money that I should have with me to operate and run my business.
Exactly. That's capital investment for your own self.
Capital investment for myself.
As Airtel, as long as you present the documentation we need, we will be able to train you, give you the line for free, and you will get the money. Let me say I have 500,000. I'll put the 500,000 on the line as float for the customer who come in to be able to transact. Yes, because we can't give you business when you're not ready to go. If you don't have the capital, then it therefore means that you'll not be able to transact. So you should have capital, and that is money for yourself, for your capital to run your business. As Airtel, we are giving this opportunity to our public to be able to grow their businesses, to be able to increase on their revenues, to be able to have something that brings money at the end of the day. Some of our sisters have just started senior 6. The time that they'll be home, they need to make some money for them to be able to facilitate their education to the next level. So this is the best opportunity that Airtel has given to our Ugandans and to the people who think they need to grow their business.
Okay, very important. Are they special lines from what we have that we use for calls also? Are the mobile money agent lines special lines?
Yes, these are special premium lines that are created on a different platform, different from the one that you are using, different from the one I'm using, and they are categorized as agent lines. In the system, we'll know that this is an agent line. In the system, we can know that Alan has 2 lines. He has an agent line and a personal line. So these are premium lines that are different from the kind of the lines that we are using as normal customers. That is it. Then we have another business stream, which is called a SIM selling outlet.
And the SSO.
Yes, the SSO. And this is basically looking at increasing the customer base. There are many people who move in different walks of lives and different parts of the country, and they're not able, first of all, they don't have the Airtel SIM card. They would love to have the Airtel SIM card, but they do not know where they should turn to be able to have this SIM card. So many people are looking for Airtel SIM cards in the different localities, but they're not able to get these lines. So what we've decided to do is to increase on the base or on the availability of
the selling outlets.
Of our outlets which are selling these SIM cards. And as Airtel Uganda, still we are giving this for free, in addition to the machine that we give you. Remember, we are regulated by Uganda Communications Commission, and we have gadgets that should be able to register SIM card. Not everyone registers a SIM card because there are special gadgets or machines that are authorized by the government to register a SIM card. So we will be giving you this machine for free to register a SIM card. It's a pair. It's kind of it's a device that has a fingerprint, and you should have a national ID as a person,
an original
one as a person who wants to get a SIM card. So you will ask me, what does it need me if I want to become a SIM selling outlet to be able to have this gadget?
Because it sounds so simple. It sounds so simple from what you're saying, but how does somebody become? Now we know how somebody becomes an Airtel money agent.
But
now how does somebody become a SIM selling agent as we plan to get out of studios?
Okay, as we plan to get out of studio, for a SIM selling outlet, you will need to have a trading license. You need
to be a registered business.
Yes, you need to be a registered business. You'll need to have a trading license. You'll need to have a TIN number registered by Uganda Revenue Authority. you'll get an LC letter confirming the location where you're going to work from. Then you will have a registered business name which is certified. When this is done, you will be able to submit the same documents to the same outlet, Airtel Money branch shop in different localities. I will process this paperwork for you, give you the device, the machine that you have. Then we'll be able to to get back to you in 3 working days, saying that your papers passed through and your device is here. When this is done, we'll be able to take you through the training, brand your location, saying this is a SIM selling outlet, so that the person can know that there's SIM cards available here, and you'll be able to start working after 3 working days. 3 working days after the date of submission of those documents. So that's the good news we have for all our subscribers, all the public. People want to increase their revenues in their businesses, and this is the best opportunity for us to have for our customers to ensure that they have more revenues.
Very good.
I would like to share numbers for people.
Exactly, because I was going to ask you that, how do they now come in?
Exactly, because remember, there are many conmen right now. People are seeing there's a business opportunity and they might want to take
People
a
start
ride.
calling to say, I am from Airtel. I am Alan from Airtel. I am Alan from Airtel.
Exactly. First of all, everyone, you can call 100 direct. Is a customer service number. Say, I had Alan or I saw Alan on TV, but I didn't get the documentation right. If that number can't pass through, or if you can't get through very quickly,
100.
100, you call directly. You can call 0800 327 327. 0800 327 327, and they will be able to guide you or to give you a person within your location where you are to say this is the person who should be able to take you through the journey of making money, the journey of earning, the journey of increasing your profitability of your business with or through Airtel Uganda. Yes.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Njagala, for having allowed to come to us, and of course for joining us and for sharing these opportunities with the public and with the people of Uganda.
It's a pleasure.
Let's see what we can do. COVID has taught us so many things, and of course it has also taught us to reorient ourselves. So if there is a business with Airtel, then let's run, join Airtel, do some businesses with them there, and see how life fares. Thank you, Mr. Njagala. We'll stop it here now, and just promising you that very shortly we'll be taking you to Parliament, as Parliament also concludes and winds up businesses for this particular session, as they again get to waiting to swear in the 11th Parliament. Thanking you so much, and thanking our very good sponsors of Cleveland Hill Junior School in Chisalu Chebando for being with us. My name is Yagana Semakola Ziksoka, saying good morning for today, blessings, and bye until tomorrow.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Sponsored by Cleveland Hill Day and Boarding Primary School. The Lord is my shepherd.
Has anyone seen Bob?
Over here!
How did you get in there?
With my Airtel Money MasterCard.
But you don't even have a bank account.
Well, it's not a card. It's virtual, so no plastic, and it's safer.
But what are you doing there?
I want to buy Nancy a birthday gift, book my flight tickets, renew my Big Click subscription, and order shipment.
The Airtel Money MasterCard. It's not a card, but works just like one. Get one on the Airtel Money menu on your phone.
Today, I'm glad that I have this opportunity to congratulate you all, Ugandans who voted the current government in power. I'm very delighted to this today, and we are waiting for what we voted for. That is the swearing in of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda. We voted. That was the end of voting. That was the end of electioneering. That was the date of politicking. That was the date of everything. 5 years that we have been in with the president, the president of the vision, and he's still, that's why we voted him to secure our lives. That was a fundamental point, that we should vote for him to secure our well-being, plus not forgetting the creator. I really thank all security forces who went into action and kept the law order in this country. We didn't lose anything. We went to the villages, we campaigned, we went to Western where I was supposed to be. And me, as a citizen, what I have seen was enough as my last message, that let us do what we are supposed to do. Because we who saw, like Comrade Tefe and others, we saw blood and everything. But today, we have seen, and even after elections, there was peace and calm. We have seen peace, 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 and peace. Whoever is hardworking, whoever is interested in playing cards, all have done whatever they are supposed to do. And actually, what I've seen in 35 years, it was this program of President Museveni of Operation Wealth Creation, which is on the ground, which is very important, which has benefited the local person of getting food, surplus food, and for money. That was the most important, the best achievement so far. And I think this time, President Museveni, as he promised, we should be on the ground working very hard for our families, and those who don't want to work, God forbid, you cannot force someone to work. If he doesn't want to work, he will, at the end of the day, he will steal. Because when you are not working, even it is in the Bible that people will eat what they have sown. We shall reap what we have put in. Like Chameleon says, that Amakungura. Now, these 5 years, we are going to see Amakungura. As a Pan-Africanist, President Museveni, he has not kept any secret that wants to destroy Africa without not telling others, fellow Africans. He advises us to do A, B, C, and D. He tells us, please go and do this. Recently, during the elections, he actually talked about COVID-19 and that we should be vaccinated. We should get jabs for our COVID. And actually we did. I have one person, because I wouldn't have kept quiet. I had to go there, and I got so many messages on my WhatsApp that I'm a hero. I was a hero because of listening to the advice of the president. And those who have listened to him in Africa, East Africa and Africa, he has been a true Pan-Africanist. He has been a liberator. He has never kept any stone, or he never kept quiet when Africans are invaded by colonialists, by whatever force. Sudan is there, Ethiopia is there, and it is sad, by the way, that we lost our good friend President Magufuli, who died. He was actually part of Uganda. Tanzania is part of Uganda, as Uganda is part of Tanzania in the East African region, and other countries, neighboring other countries. I take this opportunity to thank Mama Janeti, because any man to succeed in everything, has to have a strong wife. I'm happy for the Mama Janety to keep our president healthy. That's the most important thing. Another message that I would want to give to Ugandans. I hear the police has been giving warnings to those who want to disrupt the swearing in. Please mind your own business. Better kulibimbirwo important better than kugenda mbita kwatako. You voted, that was the end. You voted, if you didn't go through, plan for 2026, the world is not ending, the world is here. You wait until other elections are on the way. You go and campaign and you correct your mistakes where you go, where you went wrong. But you shouldn't go to disrupting others' businesses, disrupt others. Keep law and order. Whatever police says, whatever police or the army or any institution in security, please pass here, don't pass here. Why don't you pass where they have showed you? Because the other way where you want to go by on your own, you might find fire. Let us avoid unnecessary fire. I salute the President Museveni and all NRM diehards and cadres for the coming of swearing in of His Excellency the President, the liberator, the freedom fighter, Umzawuzi. I therefore have this opportunity to say long live NRM, long live His Excellency the President and the family, and all security agencies and all Ugandans, for God and my country.
We've cut and reduced our MTN Momo withdrawal rates. Now you can withdraw mobile money at the